Hi everybody, it's Charlotte, and today we're going to talk about the operations report and a certain question that a VR had. They really wanted to dig into their group transition students, so we're going to go ahead and figure that out right now. So a great report is the operations report. It's under summary, and it is your first report. There it is. We're going to pick the year 2024, execute. And so it's going to take a little bit to run this report. We're making sure we're gathering all the information. When we do the drill into the report, it will open up a bunch of more fields for us, and you'll kind of see where all of this information is being put, and so it can be gathered and looked at a lot easier. But the operations report is great just if you need to print and go. You can have an idea of how much money you've spent and who is in what areas. Like we have 5 people in, progress report or whatever. Okay, so this is what it looks like. This is, I always call like the front area. We've got a few different areas. You can tell we've got reports and drill, and we'll be working in both of those. But this is the report page. So there's 2 main sections: active, and then what's going on with your participants as of now. And then really the third is closed. This case data, this is just if you want to, we've had, 27 women, we've had 25 men, 3 of them have been veterans. This is just like data that maybe someone's interested in. So let's work on this first area. So you're going to see total active. You're going to see how many people were entered into the program their first time in 38, and how many were reopened, and that's 15. So far you've had 53 people come through your program, and you can do some quick math by saying, look, here's 33 that are still in the progress stages, and there's 20 that closed, and 20 plus 33 is 53. So that's where those numbers come from. But let's look at participant progress stage. You have someone that says, how many people do you have with IPEs? You can simply come over here and say, I have 13. How many people have applications? 3. So this is where you can get those numbers. I have 9 people that we are just needing to either get, they've just come in through orientation. We've got to get a referral or application on them. We have 4 people that we've just determined eligible, and so we are working on their IPE, and we have 13 with signed IPEs, and we have 4 folks that are working right now in their 90-day start. Wonderful. This gives you a lot of great information. Same thing down here. You had 20 people that you closed. How did that work out for you? Well, 14 of them were successful. 3 just were not successful. 1 was eligible but didn't take any services. We closed 1 at referral, and then we closed 1 that just wasn't eligible. So this kind of gives you a really great idea of what's going on with your VR. So there's 2, you're starting to see all this money over here. So there's really 2 areas: IPE, what we think things will cost, and the expense, what we actually wrote a check for. So in the IPE estimated costs, you'll see 2 areas: AIVRS and non-AIVRS. You really want to concentrate on what you all are going to be writing a check for. So when you are building the different services in the IPE, it is saying, what do you think it would cost? And that's where we're getting this money amount from. It'll also ask, is anybody kicking in? What are the non-AIVRS? Is anybody else going to add money in? Maybe the university is going to kick in some money. And then you can put that dollar amount here. All right, wonderful. We have an estimate of what we think it's going to cost. We think for the 13 people that are now sitting in IPE signed, we estimated that we're going to spend $47,550. Somebody else was going to spend $15,200, and that's on these 13 people. But here's the thing. Expense, the actual cost, so far this year, we've only spent $20,281. So you can see how this works. We kind of have an estimate, but then we have the real deal. And then if you want to look at totals of these 33 people, we estimated that this year we'd spend $58,100, but so far we've only spent $20,673. Perfect. you can see the same thing on clothes. We thought we would spend $38,000 to get these people clothes. We only ended up spending $13,320. So this is the operations report. But this doesn't get to the question that the VR asks. The VR asks, I want to know about my transition students. So I'm going to show you that now. So you go straight into this thing called drills, and it's going to break all of this data up into smaller fields. Let's take a look. Here they all are. Here's all the different fields. And you'll see there's all different kinds of them. Veterans, gender, average sum, age group, how much those age groups spent on money. And so, but honestly, the one I use the most, and I think just kind of gets you set, is I use this 68. So on any of these numbers here, any of these numbers, you can double click and it will open up something we call, it's just another sheet, but it starts giving you details of who these folks are. I always like to do the biggest number because I've got a lot I'm looking for. So when I double click this, you're going to see a new tab open here. So let's do it. Double click, sheet 64. I'm going to click the sheet so you can see it a little bit better. So this is like all the people. So it's a lot to like digest. So the first thing you want to do is kind of say, okay, why am I in here? And we really want to see those transition students. So all across the top, you have these different areas you can pick. So I'm going to use my drop down, and I'm going to say, I don't want to see everybody. I just want to see transition students. And I'm going to push OK. Wow, my list got so much smaller. And so now I want to kind of look at the history, like when did they come in? So I want to do, I want to select anyone that was active. So some of these people came in different years, so I want to select all, but I want to sort the newest to the oldest. So at the very top, I have the latest person that came in. We know they're a transition student, and they're asking us, what's going on with the transition students? So you can kind of mess with these files a little bit, make them smaller. You're not going to save this sheet. When we're done with this sheet, we're done with this sheet. We're going to delete it. So we can mess around with the little things here. So sometimes I, just make things smaller. I have history date here. I have some other information here. Okay, so they are asking, so maybe the question is, okay, how many people did you have that are transition students come in March? And I can say, oh, here's my March dates. March. I only have 3 that came in March. They came all in on 3/15 or 3/16. They've only earned program entry, and they have not headed down the progress trail. No progress yet. Okay, well, what happened in February? Okay, let's look at February. So in February, I have 2 transition students. One was open on the 16th, one was on the 14th, one was a reopen, one was a brand new, and they both have applications on file. Oh, excuse me. We have 3. One was open on 2/1/2024 as a reopen, and they're actually already employed on 2/24/24. So we'll have to talk about that and how that all happened, and I'm sure there's some really great case notes about how quickly that all happened. Okay, so that's it. So now they're able to tell their tribe what month, where they are in the stage, and what's happening next. All right, once you get that information, you go ahead and you right click and you delete. Cancel, excuse me. We are going to delete the sheet. We're going to push delete. It's going to say, are you sure? And we're going to say, yep, we're sure. And we're back to this drill page. We're back to the report. We're back to the main report menu, quit, and that's how you get into operations, and that's how you find out how or what month a transition student is, or really any group that you're categorizing. Have a great day. Bye.